Feel is something everybody does. Not physically, I mean, but inside. Everybody has feelings. That's probably one of the best and worst things about being human. And video games are made to make us feel, one way or another. Whether it's to make us feel good by killing enemies, or feel scared by making us play as a security guard at a pizza place. But what is the most important pipeline to making us feel in video games, or, as I like to call it, the most important aspect in a game? Some would say the combat. Games like Sekiro, Doom, and God of War are known for the great fighting mechanics that keep the player engaged. It's satisfying to saw a demon in half or rip a wolf's mouth off. Others would say the story, which is the cause of some of the best games ever made, like The Last of Us, Uncharted 4, and The Witcher. The characters it invests you in are nothing short of phenomenal, and it's captivating to follow them on their journeys. Some others would say the world building, but for me, the most important aspect of a game is its atmosphere. Good atmosphere has made good games great, and great games masterpieces. Not that the other things I listed off haven't, but it's the atmosphere that pulls it all together. What is atmosphere, you may ask? Typically people think of the outer gaseous layers of Earth, but when referred to gaming, it's the mood or vibe you get while playing. It's the art, music, setting, and sound design all coming together to create a feeling inside of you. One of the most popular uses of atmosphere is to give the players a sense of adventure. The most notable example is the Legend of Zelda series. In The Wind Waker, you can hear the boat cutting through the water as the great sea theme plays, while riding your horse through Hyrule Field in Ocarina of Time, the triumphant theme and sound of opponent's horseshoes hitting the ground pushes you forward. The adventurous atmosphere is meant to charge your sense of wonder, to cause you to want to enjoy your time between areas, while also making you want to get to the next one as fast as possible. There's actually examples like this all over Ocarina of Time. The world of Hyrule was formatted to be a perfect place for fantasy adventure, sporting epic locations and fun, wacky characters all over the place. This is something we see a lot of Western and JRPGs doing to create its atmosphere. They give you an exaggerated, charming cast of characters to accompany you along your journey to make it feel grander in scope, as well as throwing you into a vast, majestic world to traverse. Your characters making remarks, although sometimes annoying, and an upbeat theme playing as you progress through the populated world keeps your sense of discovery alive. Another great example of this is the Cascade Kingdom in Mario Odyssey. After a somber beginning, it shoots you into this gorgeous island with a hat that can turn you into literally anything. The kingdom itself isn't that big, but there is so much stuff to do. You run around hitting spiky Goombas and turning into chain chomps. Sunlight reflects off the glistening waterfall. The art style makes the nature pop with confidence. The beauty of the island makes you want to explore everything as fast as possible, all the while the sweeping cascade tune fuels your excitement. The little passages are treated with the same amount of importance as becoming the T-Rex. This is how you create an adventurous atmosphere in a game. But sometimes you don't need music at all to create an atmosphere. Horror games are the best example of this, and unique in this subject because the whole genre kind of revolves around the atmosphere. Resident Evil 7 does this great. At the beginning, there's no music, only the dimly lit house and the sound of your own footsteps. Even with such minimal design, I cannot describe to you how scared I was when I first played this.
Okay, I'm less scared than I was before. I'm less scared. And there's some stairs and a blinking light, and now I'm more scared than I was before I was even to the black door.
It doesn't need music to create its aura, it just uses its level design. You feel like the game devs are trying to trick you into thinking that there's nothing to be scared of when you know that there is. There are other cases where horror games do use music to make it scarier, such as Dead Space Remake. When you're exploring the ship, there's an eerie synthwave in the background, screeches of monsters echoing throughout the hallways. You make every move with caution in case one appears through the ceiling, and whenever it does... But I think the best use of the suspenseful atmosphere is the DLC of Outer Wilds, Echoes of the Eye. Warning, spoilers for the DLC, skip to this time card if you plan on playing it, which you should. On the surface of the stranger, it's quite mellow because you're meant to be exploring and solving clues, but then there's a hidden subterranean level where everything is super dark and you only have this tiny lantern. There's no music, but every once in a while it'll play this scary sound effect and make your heart skip. Walking around this area is terrifying because you have no idea what you're going to see, and then when you see a little light in the distance, a haunting melody begins to play. As it gets closer and you can make out the silhouette of the owl walking, the music grows louder and more outlandish. The amount of time you spend walking around fearing for something like this makes this moment scarier, and this moment will now make you fear more when exploring, because that's where most of the scariness comes into play. The jump scares are more well known, but the base of the horror in a game comes from the atmosphere and walking around the darkness. It's what makes your palms sweat and your heart race. Not only that, but Atmosphere is so great that it can do the complete opposite. Plenty of games' sole purposes is to relax the player and calm them down. Games like Stardew Valley and Animal Crossing were made for this. When you're feeling overwhelmed, stressed, or just have a bit of free time, you can boot up these games and just chill. While building up your villages, peaceful music plays. The little sound effects that play when you build something new warms your heart. Just walking around brings you so much peace. Leaves rustling, water rushing. Atmosphere can take so many different forms to make you feel in so many different ways. In Abzu, the aura is perfectly crafted to fill you with relaxation and wonder. The beauty of the ocean is not taken advantage enough of in games, or in any visual art for that matter. The light shining through the water, the countless species of fish swimming past you, the colorful rocky formations, all of it works together to create a masterpiece of art you can glide through. Once you get into a jet stream and you fly through the sea with all the fish, taking in all the ocean's stunning landscape faster than you can process, this heavenly orchestra starts playing, carrying you along. As you go along, your heart grows fuller and fuller. Taking deep breaths, your stress fades away, and you feel so free. And to round it all out, I want to talk about my favorite use of Atmosphere, making the player feel lonely. While the others give you this profound sense of adventure, horror, and wonder, loneliness makes you look inside yourself. It doesn't necessarily have to make you ponder, it just makes you reflect. Again, Outer Wilds is a great example. When you're in space, there's nothing but you, your ship, a couple planets, and darkness. There's nothing to be heard but your rocket boosters. It feels so isolating. I talked about this a bit in my Outer Wilds video, but being out in space is all about loneliness, about looking down at the world you left behind. There's nothing to do but look out at all the other planets and galaxies, all the places where you aren't, because you're floating in space, alone. And to top it all off, a beautiful piece by Andrew Prallo. Space is what makes you feel lonely. The music is where the reflection comes in. In Disco Elysium, when you're exploring the Martinez waterfront, there's a sad bellowing horn playing. It echoes all throughout the city, signifying how wasted and hollow it is. The town is broken, the water is a polluted muck. Hope has been completely drained from the place. There's almost no one who will willingly cooperate with you because they either hate cops or are scared of those who do. It seems that nothing is on your side except your partner. As you keep playing the game, you find yourself humming the tune of the horn, even when you're in other areas. The feeling of loneliness and isolation never leaves you. It reverberates in your body, becomes a part of you. Hollow Knight is another game with a hopeless, desolate world, albeit more on the nose. The world of Hollowness is populated with mostly enemies and a few friendly residents. Every area is shrouded in darkness and despair, with a melancholy piano melody in the background, with only your nail breaking the silence every once in a while. As you continue, the despair grows, traveling further into the depths of the map, spreading the infection further. Minecraft, the most popular game in the world, is built partially around its atmosphere. Most of the game you're walking around in huge open environments. The blocky landscapes are surprisingly beautiful, and it just keeps going on as far as the eye can see. There's nothing but animals and mobs inhabiting the world. Only every so often you'll come across a village, and even then you can't really interact with them. The entire time there's an isolating tech lo-fi soundtrack playing, so that no matter what you're doing, you always feel alone. But my favorite use of a lonely atmosphere, and just atmosphere in general, is Breath of the Wild. Yep, this game is pretty much a video essayist's dream. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is my favorite game because of the atmosphere. The game is based around exploring this huge realized kingdom overtaken by wilderness. There are little villages that are warm and inviting, but outside you are utterly alone. There's so many cel-shaded environments with their different wildlife sprinkled about. While walking through Hyrule Field, the wind blows through the grass. You can hear the faint sounds of birds and insects, and sparse piano keys play. You feel in your heart that no one is anywhere near here. Trekking through the Heber Mountains, snow blows in your face while soft percussion plays. A sitar accompanies you as you journey through the sweltering Gerudo Canyon. 95% of this game is walking around the world as minimalist music plays. There's something about having no big cutscenes or fanfare on your journey that makes you feel so alone in the best way possible. It's the type of artistic loneliness that just makes you feel so much. That's what atmosphere is all about, making you feel. That's what games are all about, Good combat makes you feel satisfied. Good puzzle solving makes you feel smart. Good story makes you feel for the characters and what they're going through. All these different types of feelings force you to reach out and experience something new. But to reach that next level of art, it needs to make the player just feel what's already inside them. Feel their own sense of anxiety, relaxation, adventure, wonder, loneliness. That is the atmosphere.